Hello, people. Vechain finally pumped. Now, it's up about 10% today, and it hit like 3.5 cents, which is the highest it's been in a while. But if you actually look at CMC, it's up like 25% over the week. Now, don't get too excited. It's not a massive pump, but it is a pump. I've been looking for a reason for this pump, and I can't really find any big reasons. The news actually is not all that great for VET at this point. I mean, like, it's not bad, and there are a couple of announcements. Recently on February 7th, which was about 2 weeks ago, they announced a new type of partnership with BCG, or Boston Consulting Group, for sustainability and digital transformation. But they were partnered from DCG from last year. They've expanded it, but it doesn't really make sense that there's like news and then 2 weeks later they actually pump. And of course they have like, stuff like V tags and stuff, but that really shouldn't actually matter all that much in terms of like, it really shouldn't matter all that much in terms of price. They have some like new collaborations, new partnerships, but those have never really mattered too much. So basically, like, he's like Sonny's actually becoming a little bit more, active in like social media and online. He's doing he's doing a couple of podcasts now. I think he's done them a little bit more often. So maybe he's taking like the Charles approach. That's how Charles Hodgkinson actually keeps people interested. He does all these AMAs, and I think Sonny's becoming a little bit more too active. Obviously, the market has been going up recently, and Vechain has actually been lagging behind a little bit, and now it's finally catching up, getting back like to number 39. Realistically, I think Vechain should be around 5 cents right now. That's where it should be, and it actually could pump until then. There's all these analysts writing articles about how Vechain should pump to like $1, $1.50. That's probably not happening anytime soon, if ever in this bull run. Might happen later, but not in this bull run, honestly. Not in like the next couple of weeks, obviously. Maybe at the peak of the bull run, you'll see a chance at that. But like, all these market analysts are saying like, from Crypto Basic, it's like price set sell for $1.50 here, a key obstacles amount. That's not happening. Market analysis says VeChain set to move to 21 cents. Probably not happening either, and it would take a long time. But 21 cents, I suppose, is possible. I don't think it'll make a final jolt because we're not in that parabolic phase yet. But we can't forget that, VeChain in early 2021 did actually go to 26 cents from 1 or 2 cents in the course of 2 weeks. So if there's some big announcement coming, it might actually do that for VeChain. I mean, the big landmark thing for Vechain is it reached something like 2 million transactions for Walmart China, and also for DCG, DNVGL. That could actually be pretty big, but the number of transactions has never really affected price that much. Plus, it's very much delayed, as that happened about a week ago. So obviously, they're trying to build utility for NFTs, and they're trying to build new use cases for some of their other products. And they're doing more, community-oriented stuff now, which might actually get people excited. But I really, really haven't found a reason why VeChain's pumped so much. And they're also heading towards Barcelona for MWCH 2024. And they'll join world-leading enterprises and visionaries to share some exciting developments in VeChain. So, essentially, they're going to Barcelona. The conferences might actually pump up the price a little bit. If it's a conference, I expect it to pump a little bit more, maybe hopefully to 4 cents, to give people a little bit of excitement. And there's also some announcements coming at the end of February, according to tokenomics, and that might actually get people excited. I think it might be a culmination of a bunch of little things that get people excited. I think the most upside I see for this kind of stuff is 5 cents. I'd be surprised if it actually hit above 5. And if it goes to 5 because pumping of these things, it might not maintain 5 cents because these pumps generally don't maintain. Now, if it went to 5 cents and then dropped to 4 cents, I would actually be pretty happy with VET because 4 cents is a significant improvement from where they were. And I think that catches up VET basically with the rest of the market in terms of pump. It'd be great if it went to 10 or 15 cents. Wouldn't mind it at all. And if that brings the ecosystem liquidity up, that would be totally awesome. But right now, I'm looking at 5 cents, maybe with a dip to 4 cents, as what I hope to actually happen. Remember, Bitcoin's at 50K, which means it's significantly higher than where it was, but we're still not in that parabolic phase yet. I think we have a couple of retraces, and then we have a couple of climbs left. And alts really aren't ready to completely rocket off just yet. None of these altcoins really have their own ETFs. And I think Ethereum has they're saying like a 50-50 chance to get approved in May. We'll see what actually happens there. But I think like Bitcoin demand is coming up, and it's like basically pushing the rest of the market up with it. Vechain still needs more third-party development and liquidity, but I think the reasons that it might be pumping is because of the Barcelona conference that's actually coming up that they're going to be a part of. Because like pre-conference stuff, buy the rumor, sell the news, always kind of pumps it. And of course, the ecosystem changes if they get better tokenomics. Some people are excited for that. So that's why Vechain might actually be pumping. And I think 5 cents would be my target for right now. So very good news for the Vechain community. And I think as long as Bitcoin goes up, Vechain will continue being healthy. And that I guess that parabolic move could technically come anytime. But I'm going to guess it's going to be after Bitcoin hits $70,000. On that note, Bitcoin futures open interest has topped $21 billion, and this is the highest since November 2021. So people actually haven't been this excited for overall crypto for 2021, and that's very, very good. Now, 2021, obviously we were hitting towards the top of the bull run, and people were just excited because of FOMO. This time it is different. People are excited. We're nowhere near I don't think at the top of our curve, and this time it's actually being perpetrated by ETFs. And I think the institutional buying is part of that excitement. So basically, national open interest has surged and overall leverage buildup is still relatively low. So if the overall leverage buildup is relatively low, I think that signals it's actually pretty healthy. So the dollar value locked in open futures and perpetual futures contracts have topped 21 billion mark for the first time since November 2021. That's fairly bullish, especially since Bitcoin is nowhere near the 2021 maximum. Still, the overall leverage in markets remains quite low. I think the overall leverage in November 2021 is pretty high, indicating low odds of sudden liquidations induce price volatility. So liquidations may not actually play a part in this. So it's not going to suddenly dump unless there's a giant black swan event, which I don't actually see happening. So basically this tells me that there's a healthy market, and it's a very, very healthy bullish market based on these indicators. So basically open interest in perpetuals and standard futures stood at over 21 billion, with Bitcoin trading at $50,000 basically. And the open interest tally has increased 22% this year. More people are interested in Bitcoin, nearing the record of 24 billion seen in mid-November 2021. Now, like I said, the market's very different between here and there. That was the market top induced by FTX pumping, because the real pump was actually April of 2021. So the November 2021 was basically FTX induced. And that was when Bitcoin traded above 65K. This time, Bitcoin's much lower at 50K, and there's actual real interest because of ETFs, not just a garbage company like FTX pumping the market right now. BlackRock, Fidelity, when they're buying billions of dollars, that's true demand. That's actually retail people buying in, and BlackRock and Fidelity has to buy the Bitcoin to actually match. So, and not as much leverage means there's not going to be a big, massive sudden drop. Now, can things get liquidated? Yes. For instance, if Genesis sells their 1.4 billion all of a sudden, I'm sure there will be liquidations. You cannot actually get away from that. But the thing is, this time, because futures open, because the leverage is not that high right now, it's not really a sign of extreme price volatility and extreme dumpage at this point. So yeah, watch out for the Genesis thing. But overall, the market does not seem to be showing signs that it's going to massively dump. So while we might get a 10 or 15% swing because people are taking profits, the risk of a 30-40% dump without something really, really big happening, I do actually believe is pretty low. Now, the greed fear index is surging up. It's still not at the 90s where it was back in 2021, but it is at high 70s, and it's the highest it's been in 2 years. So I do believe there are going to be a couple of people taking profits. So if you're looking for a small dip, 50,000 would be that resistance level where it could actually go down. We already had a little bit of a dip because of the bad CPIs and stuff. But there could be a couple more resistances days at 50K before we finally get above it. Once we get above it, I don't see too much resistance going up to 55 and 60K. So right now, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we traded around 50K for a week or two before we went up. I also wouldn't be surprised if we just went straight up. I don't really see a gigantic dump unless the courts just basically decide to say, hey, Genesis, you can sell. But because Grayscale and DCG are both opposing that sale, it's unlikely to happen that fast. Now, I'm not a legal expert. I could be completely wrong about that, and that we could get like a dump to $40,000 based on that $1.4 billion thing. But that's really the only thing I see headed towards right now. I know the CZ case is coming up, but I don't think they're going to destroy Binance because of it. He might be in trouble, and the government's really, really out to get him because I think some people are still pissed that he took down FTX, and they just have like reasons to get rid of him because they don't want him competing in the US market, obviously. So essentially, they really want to get rid of CZ. They're trying to paint him as someone worse than SBF. I don't think the crypto industry is ever really going to believe that because CZ didn't really cost us any money the way FTX did, SBF did. But like the government officials and the people higher up are really pissed off at him. But I don't think it's gonna like shine badly upon Binance. The SEC is really, really having trouble in all their lawsuits against these companies. So we have a lot to actually take in and a lot to actually look at in the next couple of days. But overall, I expect it's very bullish. The open interest paints a very bullish signal, especially with reduced or low leverage. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.